In this video, we'll teach you everything you need to know to transform your kickoff meetings for the better. You'll learn what you need to prepare in advance, the 5 core topics you must go over with your team in the meeting, and what steps you need to take post-meeting to ensure everything goes to plan after blast-off. To kick things off, what do you need to do before the kickoff meeting to make it a roaring success? Well, like with pretty much anything worthwhile in life, the key is to prepare in advance. And that starts with thoroughly reviewing your brief and thinking about what the outcome of the kickoff meeting should be. Whether this is to decide on an approach to the project, develop a timeline, or generate buy-in among the project team. Knowing your meeting goals will help you determine exactly how to run the meeting. Once you have this crucial information, it's time to determine who should attend. You may want to include anyone who makes up the day-to-day team, while leaving out those with specialized skill sets who only come into the project at critical moments. Essentially, don't bring in anyone who doesn't need to sit through the entire thing.
Michael Scott Dunder Mifflin, what is the purpose of this meeting?
Next, you need to decide on a location for the meeting and a date and time. Once you've worked out the logistical nightmare of a suitable date and time, distribute the brief or any background material the project team needs to read beforehand so they can be as prepared as possible. If you've worked in a similar project before, share anything that might be useful, like notes, past performance reports, or postmortems. Send them an email with all this vital information succinctly captured with a calendar invite and a clear kickoff meeting agenda. If your teammates can access everything they need in one place, it'll be a whole lot easier for them to prepare. Let's take a look at the 5 core topics that should be on your project kickoff meeting checklist. Number 1 is to ensure everyone is in alignment with the primary goal of the project. As the project manager, it's your responsibility to make sure that you clearly understand the goals set by the client or sponsor, and then communicate those goals to the rest of the team in a way that makes sense. This can be tricky, especially if there are multiple stakeholders with different objectives, but it's crucial to ensure everyone's on the same wavelength and working towards a common goal to avoid disaster later on. With everyone in harmony regarding the primary goal, next, it's important to list any secondary objectives and requirements that should also be met. This could be to affect a secondary KPI or contribute toward the long-term objective that benefits everyone. It also might mean going above and beyond to impress the CMO of the company. The next item on the list happens to be the most time-consuming part of the kickoff meeting, and it is crucial for setting up a reasonable, solid project timeline. That's to discuss the tasks and phases the team must include to meet your identified goals and objectives. But don't get it twisted. It's not just about listing the tasks the team needs to do to complete the project. Oh no. It's also about considering what information you need to complete those tasks. This is also the perfect time to ask clarifying questions for both your team's sake and your own. Are there tasks that must be completed before others begin? Does there need to be some working order, or can multiple tasks be worked on simultaneously? Either way, the goal is to ensure everyone has a clear understanding of what needs to be done, how it will be done, and by when. Okay then, now comes the time to delegate and cogitate. Agree on who will do the work and what resources will be needed. Consider other teams or even external partners you might need to bring on board. And to finish off the session, take some time to meditate. You don't need to get out your incense candles, unless you want to, of course. This is about reflecting on similar past projects. Discuss what worked, what could have been done better, or what ended up being a total no-go. Take notes from the positives and assign the negatives to the dumpster fire of the past. Basically, replicate the good and take steps to ensure the bad doesn't happen again. Make a list of your success criteria and potential hazards to consider throughout the project, which will help ensure that success is a surefire thing. The meeting might be over, but now you need to process and digest everything discussed. Review your notes, fill in any gaps, and get on with writing your project plan and developing the timeline. Once you have these in writing, share the details with the team to make sure you haven't missed anything. and whether they have any suggestions or concerns about the timeline before it's locked down. And make sure it's updated as often as necessary to keep things moving in the right direction. Once you've outlined the project plan, it's time to work on a stakeholder engagement plan. Figure out what information from the project plan needs to be shared with which stakeholder. And lastly, you should begin thinking about and preparing for the next kickoff meeting with the client. Have you ever implemented these steps into your own internal kickoff meetings? If you want to learn more about how to run a project kickoff like an expert and smash it every time, then check out our article in the description. Or become a DPM member to access over 75 expert curated templates, including internal and client kickoff meeting agendas. Just click on the link in the description. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hitting the notification bell to be notified of our future uploads.